Hi, it's Yvonne from Just Imagine Journals in Australia. Today I have an envelope flip stack with a French vintage theme made for a friend. The last envelope is just for display, and it has a letter and a card inside it and some faux stamps. This one's a 3D one, so I'll just set that one aside. And then the other envelopes are all attached to each other. So the first one flips up and then each has some ephemera in it, in this case a vintage monogram and a quote about friendship. And then this one is attached to the next envelope with a piece of 3D double-sided tape, so it has a bit of dimension and also leaves a bit of space for any ephemera. Here we've got March, because her birthday is in March, and a little envelope. I experimented with my envelope maker, and so I have envelopes of all different sizes here. You can make rectangular ones and square ones of different sizes. And then I've made a faux vintage cabinet card, and the theme is maybe early 1900s, that sort of era. Some pockets, and then again the next one is attached. You can also add more detail here, but I've chosen not to do that. I didn't want it to be too fussy, but you can add flowers or lace. Then I've got a vintage tag or a vintage theme tag that I've made with some sewing, some vellum, and here on the back is what they call faux suede or faux leather, made from brown paper, and distress inks and wax. And I got that idea putting it on the back of a card from my friend Tanya. It gives an old worldy leather, almost like a leather feel. Here's another envelope. In this case I haven't closed it up because I thought that made the ephemera more accessible. Another shape and another size, again in the French theme. And then in the last envelope, this could be a journal, but in this case I've just included a letter with some information. And the information is about some letters that I found in an antique shop in France, online. And it talks about the lives of a French family in the early 1900s through letters. So the letters detail things like balls and get-togethers, births, and purchasing of jewellery, all sorts of interesting day-to-day details, a glimpse into that life. They lived in a chateau, so it was a rather grand life. Here I've got a little bit of decoration with the key, so it's like the key to the past. And I'm going to pop that aside now. And in the second part of the gift is this little box that I've made with a magnetic closure and a little bit of decoration. And inside this box are some of those original vintage letters from the 1900s. A little copy of a travel itinerary, and as far as my limited French allows, I've found it fascinating to read those letters and get a glimpse into that period of life. So that makes a rather nice gift, and also just an interesting way to present a perhaps family history or a lost history. In this case it's a lost history of but I hope that you enjoyed that envelope flip stack. And I also have an envelope journal, an envelope stack journal, and I'll leave the link for that below. I do appreciate you watching, and thanks so much. I always love to read your comments, so if you have a comment, I'd love you to leave a comment and a like. Thanks so much. Bye for now.